Good afternoon, Club 17. Good afternoon, friends, guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati and the beautiful Continental Room. We have a great program today. Emily Norell is here. Emily's the tournament director of the Kroger Queen City Championship. Emily, thank you for being here. We're really looking forward to your presentation. We will begin our meeting with the national anthem, led by Stephanie Sheard, followed by the four-way test and invocation from Nancy Reese. Stephanie?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in prayer. Gracious God, your beauty and your bounty are all around us during this midsummer time of year. Thank you for all the wonderful fruits and veggies and all the other tastes that are so wonderfully fresh from the farmers' fields right now. This is also a popular time to travel. Please keep everyone safe as they vacation and visit family and friends. Thank you for the longer amount of daylight this time of the year that provides more time for outdoor recreation, opportunities to play, rejuvenate, and spend time with friends. Guide us to take a moment to truly look at all the beauty and to pause to listen to the wonderful sounds of Mother Nature that are all around us while we are outdoors, and to appreciate the time we spend with our family and friends in a more relaxed pace. Remind us to take some time to be still and connect with you, especially when we are outdoors. But we also take time to thank you for all the blessings of this season. We appreciate the people and the local businesses and people, especially our speaker, Emily, who are bringing the upcoming Ladies Professional Golf Association Queen City Championship to Cincinnati. And to all the volunteers who will follow our Rotary motto of service above self, who will give of their time and talents so all proceeds can go towards local charities. Thank you for blessing this tournament. Thank you also for the platform to showcase our beautiful Southwest Ohio region to an international audience, to attract tourists, to continue to grow women's golf in the region, yes, and create a positive charitable and economic impact on our community. Thank you for the gifts of fellowship, friendship, and food this meeting provides to us. Bless all those who are serving us today. We're grateful for all the blessings you give us. Amen. Please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do as Rotarians. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Nancy Reese, thank you very much. Well said. Stephanie Sheard, thank you for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. It's a great way to start a meeting. Next, I'd like to welcome Dan Long to the podium. He's our Sergeant at Arms, to welcome our guests and prospective members. Mr. Long.
Thank you, King Steve. We have 6 great guests this afternoon here at our Rotary Club. The first guest is Darling Underwood. Her company, actually it's the most popular company we have today. It's a retired company. She is a friend of Pete Armstrong. Lydia Steck from Cincinnati Magazine, a guest of Melinda Kelly. Allison Mayborg from Procter & Gamble, a guest of Nancy Reese. Susan Arnold, an employee of 3D Color, and lives on a wonderful street called Wakefield in Mount Lookout. It's a neighbor of mine. A guest of Jim Young. Jeff Fay, Cornerstone Retirement Advisors, a guest of Winfield Geiger. And finally, Terry Brandstetter, retired, a guest of Ken Saunders. And thank you so much to those Rotarians that have brought guests. As a member of our Membership Development Committee, we need to continue to do this throughout the year, so we're very grateful for those Rotarians that bring guests and potential members. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan Long. Welcome, guests. Welcome, Brandstetters. We've got a lot of Brandstetters here today. Next, please welcome Gary Walton to share a word as our meeting sponsor.
Once again, it gives me great joy to bring greetings from the good people of Lower Price Hill. My name is Gary Walton. I am the founder of the Cincinnati Type and Print Museum located in Price Hill. Some of you may remember the museum stands on 3 pillars. Number 1, we want to preserve the history of printing and make you aware that life revolves around print. Number 2, we want to place, when the COVID thing is all over, for artists to come and play. Letterpress printing is becoming a huge art form, and we want to share that with the community. Everything at the museum is free. Number 3, and the most important part of the ministry, we are tied with Block Ministries, and we rehabilitate people and give them second chances. Most of these people have some type of addiction, and give them second chances and get them back in the workforce to bring wealth into Price Hill, and that's how you flip a community. You bring wealth into that community. You know, aren't we enjoying the loveliness of this air-conditioned environment? And your cars are air-conditioned now, your homes are air-conditioned now. You need to say every morning when you enjoy that cool, thank you, printing industry. Because in 1902, a lithographer hired Willis Carrier, a young college student, and said, I have a problem with my press sheets getting wavy because of the humidity. You need to remove the humidity. And he created the Carrier air conditioning system for that printer and now for the world. So you see, life does revolve around print. Where's Christy? Christy has a bag. I'm going to give you a chance to win this gift bag. If you can tell me where was the second installation of an air conditioning unit. The first was a print shop. Where was the second? Stand up. I'll point to you. If you get it right, you get the prize. So who wants to take a try? Where was the second? Ooh, no. Movie theater is correct. For 5 cents, you can see the movie and be cooled at the same time. Thank you. Enjoy the table outside and talk to you later.
Gary Walton, thank you for your enthusiasm for the printed page. Thank you for sponsoring this meeting, and thank you for the history lesson. I always enjoy your sponsorships. Next, I would like to welcome Greg Hartley to the stage for a new member introduction.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to introduce Captain Kenneth Cleveland. Kenneth is the administrator for the Salvation Army Cincinnati Adult Rehabilitation Program here in in town. He's a recent transfer from Pittsburgh. He's been married to his wife, Minnie, for 13 years. Lovely lady who was a retired master sergeant from the United States military. He has 2 children, Tony and Bianca, and a grandson, Nico. We and I shared moving here and getting involved in Rotary. We're very pleased to have him here and look forward to working with you. So welcome.
You got us, Ed? One more time. First time. Welcome to the Cincinnati Rotary Cast. Thank you, Greg. Round of applause. We were all new members once. Please give Kenneth a warm Cincinnati Rotary welcome. Announcements. I wish I had a little button that could transfer into announcements, but I have a few announcements to share. Birthday wishes. I don't know if we have a birthday wish slide, but that doesn't matter because yesterday was Hux Miller and Angie Ferguson's birthday. Dynamic duo. Happy birthday, Hux and Angie. And today is someone's birthday. Past President Melinda Kelly, happy birthday. Your birthday gift is you get to eat your lunch in peace. Tomorrow, it is Bonnie Reddig's birthday. Happy birthday, Bonnie. And on the 25th, Tom Perrott. So happy birthday to all of you. Split the pot. All right, today's winner takes home $46. The accumulating pot is up to $228. The last 4 digits are 4058. Do we have a winner? Oh, we've got a winner, Ken Saunders. Excellent. We are looking for the Queen of Hearts, Ken. Oh, so close. Camp Allen Century of Service Celebration. We invite you to attend the Camp Allen Century of Service Celebration on Saturday, August 27th, starting at 5 p.m. We will honor 100 years of service above self with the following: a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new renovations, hot air balloon rides, tours of the 100-acre property, surf and turf dinner, everybody's favorite, open bar, and a live band, Model Behavior. Tickets are just $45 each and can be purchased through Rotarian Angie Ferguson. Give us a wave, Angie. This is not a fundraiser. This is a celebration. Be there on Saturday, August 27th. Sign up for tickets today. See Angie. Thank you, Angie. Dayton Dragons, our district. 53 clubs in Southwest Ohio. They're hosting a night at the Dayton Dragons at the Day Air Ballpark in downtown Dayton. The district has reserved Saturday night, August 6th. Game time is 7:05. Tickets are $14, 7 of which goes back to the End Polio Now campaign. Use the link in the weekly e-raise, that's the club email, to sign up for tickets. Saturday, August 6th, 7 p.m. Family of Rotary. It's wedding season for the family of Rotary. Congratulations to Rotarian Corbin Scherzinger. Corbin and his fiancée, Olivia, were married on July 2nd in Bayview, Michigan. Congratulations, Corbin and Olivia. Congratulations to Chuck Martz, whose son Eric married Hillary on July 16th, just this past weekend in Cleveland. Congratulations to the Martz family. And members in the news, hot off the presses, just moments ago, as a matter of fact, the Cincinnati Business Courier released their 40 under 40 list. Congratulations to our own Ed Mathis, who has been named to the coveted list of young leaders in our community. You deserve it, Ed. Thank you. Good work. Ed's on our board. We expect good things, Ed. Congratulations. Well deserved. All right. Next, we'll turn to our program. Please welcome Al Conscious to the podium to introduce Emily. Thank you.
Thank you, President Steve. Your thought for the day, no matter how much you push the envelope, it's still stationary. Boo yourself. Today we're very pleased to welcome Emily Norell. She's a tournament director of the Kroger Queen City Championship by P&G. It's a major LPGA tournament coming to Kenwood Country Club September 5th through the 11th. You may remember Cincinnati had a major LPGA tournament tour back in 1978 all the way through 1989, back in the Nancy Lopez era. So we're very happy to welcome the LPGA back to town. Prior to this position, Emily had an extensive golf background. 2018 to 21, she was a tournament director for business affairs for the LPGA. 2013 to 18, she was a tournament director for the Pure Silk Bahamas LPGA Classic. In November 21, she joined Excel Sports, who has this tournament now, as tour director for the Kroger Queen City by PGA and by P&G, and moved to Cincinnati from Florida here. So she's living in town and will be here for at least a couple years. We have a 3-year commitment from them. She is originally from Maple Lake, Minnesota, attended Gonzaga for a few years, then transferred to the University of St. Thomas, where she focused on Spanish language literature. Emily graduated in 2010. Prior to that, she had played golf all through high school and worked at various golf courses during high school and college. She eventually made golf her career. Please welcome Emily Norell.
Thank you, and I think we have a video to kick things off. All righty, very cool, right? So we actually showed that video back in September at Kenwood Country Club when we announced the tournament was coming. So it's pretty crazy that we're only like 45 days out. I was actually at that year to year kind of incognito. I knew I was going to take the position, but I was actually still with the LPGA and actually had a Solheim Cup volunteer up in Toledo drive me to Cincinnati to be at the year to year announcement. So crazy how fast time has gone. But Al, thank you for that introduction. As he mentioned, my name is Emily Norell. I am the tournament director for the Kroger Queen City Championship presented by P&G. And I work for a company, XL Sports Management, based out of New York. And we are very excited because ultimately we won the business to own and operate this event. And this is our first event that we truly own and operate. So very, very excited. Both myself and my boss have extensive background in golf. So we were not worried when taking on the pressure of this being our first event out of the gate. But XL saw and believed in the city of Cincinnati, ultimately with Kroger and P&G, and that's why they decided to go after this business. We are going to be September 5th through the 11th. September 5th is that Labor Day. So we are going to be welcoming 144 of the world's best female golfers to Kenwood Country Club that week. So we will kick things off on that Monday with player practice rounds and a qualifier at Kenwood, where ultimately the two lowest scores from that qualifier will receive entry into the tournament, which is pretty exciting. Tuesday, we'll continue with practice rounds, and then we will have our pairings party that night, which will flow into Wednesday, which is our official Pro-Am day, where our sponsors will get the opportunity to play a round of golf with the pros. Thursday through Sunday will be rounds 1 through 4. So on Friday, there will be a cut, 270 and ties. And then hopefully the weather holds, and Sunday we'll be able to crown our first champion. And then in between, we're going to have a lot of ancillary programming. We're going to have a handful of junior clinics, sponsor clinics. We have a ton of support from the community. We're going to have a really great family zone, fun zone, and just a lot of cool things that week. And so we're still framing our overall schedule of events, which you can find on our website. But as you guys can imagine, being the new kids in town, there's a lot of details and a lot of things to be done. Coming in with no relationships ultimately, and having to form those is a lot of work, and we're still working through those. When you think about it, our footprint at Kenwood, requires ecology, trash, power, fuel, deciding how we're going to utilize Kenwood Country Club, where our skyboxes are going to go. And when you've never done that before at a brand new event, it takes a little bit of time, and I think we've changed our mind 100 different times on things. But ultimately, it will come together, and we're very excited. We are going to be live on the Golf Channel all 4 days, and that feed will be delivered to over 223 markets and in 570 million households worldwide, which is pretty incredible. And the girls are going to be competing for a purse of $1.75 million, where the winner will take home approximately $260,000 to $275,000. To that, I know we mentioned a little bit of the history of golf in Cincinnati, but I don't know if you guys know that Kenwood actually back in 1963 hosted a U.S. Women's Open. Don't ask me who won because I cannot remember, but it's incredible and kind of full circle that we are bringing it back to Kenwood. To that, we have launched our ticket sales back in February along with our volunteer registration. And just from both of those and the support we've seen, we know this is going to be a home run for the city of Cincinnati. And just the way that you all come around and celebrate and support your hometown teams, we hope that people will do that for our event. I definitely jumped on the Bengals bandwagon during the Super Bowl time, and so that was really exciting to see, and we hope that folks will do the same for us. Attendance, I'm sure you all are wondering, on average, an LPGA event sees around 50,000 spectators. And so, that's our goal, if not more. And we truly think we can get there. Like I said, the support from Kroger, from P&G, and a lot of our other sponsors that we have really, put their faith and trust in us with this first year event and us being new in town. And so we couldn't be happier. Just to call out a few, we have Tri-Health, St. Elizabeth, Lexus, who all the girls actually in our field will receive a Lexus vehicle for the week, which does not happen often. I can probably count on one hand the tournaments that girls receive a vehicle, and it's not even the entire field. It's maybe the top 10 or the top 20, so we feel really lucky. Cintas, Beacon, Great American, and the list goes on. And so, like I said, we feel and we know that we're in a really good spot. We have over 600 volunteers that have registered. We actually have one of our superstars, Allison, joining us today. She's been supporting our volunteer coordinator. And so without Allison's support, we definitely would not be where we are. We're actually starting to close out committees because we are full, which is a good thing for us. We're still looking for support in both the volunteer side, but then also kind of separate the concession side as well, and looking for support in that space. We do have free admission for children 17 and under with a ticketed adult, both active, retired, military will get in free all days that we're open. Our gates will open that Wednesday, September 7th. And then obviously through that Sunday. Multiple ticketing options. We have our general admission tickets, and then also some upgraded opportunities as well. And all of those can be found on our website at queencitylpga.com. And I encourage you all to come out. It's going to be a really fun and special week. I can't wait. I think, as Al mentioned, Kroger and P&G have signed up for 3 years to sponsor this event, and ultimately, hopefully, I'm here for a lot longer than that. I've really enjoyed my time in Cincinnati. I've gotten to experience a football game, a Reds game. I've gone to a Cyclones game. I've been able to eat at some really great restaurants, have a lot of really good drinks, maybe too many at times, but it's really been a fun experience to be here and just immerse myself in this community and just really feel the support as we get closer. So that's all I have, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you all, I'm sure, have. I will say, actually, the only other time I spoke at a Rotary was in the Bahamas talking about a golf tournament. So, that's a really great question that I should have brought a prize. No. It's funny because there was an article that came out like 4 years ago that Mike Wan, our former CEO and now CEO of the USGA, talked about his vision to bring an LPGA event to Cincinnati, and one of the statements was parking may be an issue. However, that's why they hired us. We have identified parking. There's a few different lots. The furthest one is going to be no more than 15 minutes. The only reason I'm not going to say where they are specifically today is that we are finally going pen to paper with these lots, and I'm just crossing my fingers that it goes through. But we verbally committed to lots very close to Kenwood, so we feel really good about that. And we're hoping to announce on August 1st on our website. But yes, ultimately, we don't have a field across the street or a field or nearby, which a lot of courses do. But like I said, there's other courses too where, sometimes you're parking 30 minutes away or 40 minutes away. So we're actually really lucky with what we've been able to secure. And truthfully, thanks to COVID is a big part why, because so many companies have moved to remote or kind of a flex schedule. So we've been able to work with a couple different lots to make it work for us. You can. Yeah, so, and obviously, I'm sure most of you know, Kenwood is very residential, so we took that into consideration. We took in the fact that people may want to Uber or Lyft, or even just be able to walk in. And so we're mapping right now with a vendor on our overall kind of main entrance layout, which will provide people hey, if you're walking in, if you're biking in, if you're Uber or Lyfting in, here's kind of your process that you need to take. Yes.
I've heard that many pro golfers, if they give advice to an average golfer like myself, is that before each round of golf you play, you should take your driver out of your bag, put it on your driveway, and drive over it several times. So that you have something to use it on the course.
Is that a real question? No. I like my driver, and actually I think it has a dent in it, so maybe. we probably have, I don't, if 10 to 17 different committees. I mean, scoring, player services, product distribution, marshaling. I mean, literally there's something for everybody. If you want to be out on the golf course, we have something for you. If you want to have a golf cart and deliver water to all the tee boxes, we have something for you. If you are an avid golfer and you want to walk inside the ropes as a walking score and keep literally score of the group, or carry one of those signs that you see, there's opportunity for that. And the list goes on. And so all of those are also listed on our website. But yeah, there's literally something for everybody. And even if you have questions about like where you think you may want to be placed, or you have questions about a certain committee, Diane, our volunteer coordinator, and her email is on the website, feel free to reach out to her. She's a superstar. Volunteers takes a very special person, and she has been in the volunteer space for, I think, 20 plus years. And that's where I actually got my start as well, in the Bahamas, trying to coordinate Bahamians to volunteer for a golf event that I think 90% of them had no idea what golf was. So it's special to my heart as well, volunteering, especially with golf tournaments. So yeah, feel free to check it out, but I promise you that we're able to find something for everybody and to make it a fun week as well. Correct. So Kenwood, the members of Kenwood, I must say, and the community have been phenomenal at opening their doors to hosting players tournament week. And so that's probably where a lot of our players will end up going or requesting, just for obvious reasons, from a cost perspective, that they don't have to pay for housing that week. And then we've also partnered with a handful of the local hotels as well. Yes, that's a good question. Yes. So our tour is made up of the LPGA is the most diverse tour or with any sports league, and I would say we probably are going to have representation from 13 to 15 different countries at our event, which is pretty special. So they will be playing Kendale. And the reason being for that is when we first with the LPGA looked at Kendale and Kenview, we probably were going to do a combination of both, but the grass on the greens are actually different. So we had to stick with one or the other. And so we went with their championship course, Kendale. Oh boy. That's a very good question. Actually, something I haven't been asked, but my opinion on LIV, the new LIV tour. I personally think to each their own. They haven't come, obviously, the LPGA's way, but I think it is coming, or at least the conversations, because it wouldn't take a whole lot of funding to bring that LIV to the LPGA. But it is interesting. Like, when I think about it, you're never going to go to, a PGA Tour event and see Dustin Johnson, or see now, I'm sure you all saw the news with Henrik Stenson, who lost the right as now Ryder Cup captain for the Europeans. That's been stripped away. Money talks. I hate saying that, but for these guys that, have decided to make the move, ultimately I feel like that's their prerogative, that's their decision, and I don't think both can live in the same space, but time will tell, right? So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And to that, XL, we actually are an agency, and we represent top athletes in all different spaces. We have about 9 LPGA players, but actually Tiger Woods is our biggest client. So we have Tiger, Justin, Colin Morikawa, Matt Fitzpatrick, who actually just won the U.S. Open, a handful of others. And thankfully, the conversations with them and LIV have been very quiet. None of them have the desire to go, but it'll just be it'll be really interesting to see what happens, right, over these next kind of months, year, if you will. I know conversations with this started 4 years ago, and we're probably getting off topic a little bit, and we should focus on the LPGA. But like I said, I know people in the industry that have actually taken jobs to be tournament directors for this, and they told me it came down to they just couldn't turn the cash away. So I don't know if that's the answer you were looking for, but that's kind of, I guess, where I stand today. Yes.
You mentioned the first tournament, which is impressive, but as in most professional sports, the purses were men's tournaments before.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about any efforts there are towards quality of payment in the LPGA?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and something that I even care very much about. And ultimately, there is a huge gap between the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour. But to that, just even this past year, I believe for the year of 2022, over 13 events have raised their purse. The USGA went from, I think, $5 million to $10.5 million as a purse, and Mike Wan, along with ProMedica, have committed to bringing it up to, I think, 12 or 13 million over the next 3 years. KPMG went from 4 million to 9 million, I think, just a few months ago. And even here in Cincinnati, we're working to, how do we raise our purse and give these girls a fair platform and opportunity? And, frankly, I think it sucks. I don't know if I can say that. That, these girls aren't at that same level as men, because they should be. Because I promise you, if you come out to Kenwood, these girls kick butt. They're so good at what they do, and they deserve equal pay. I'm shocked that there hasn't been a company out there that hasn't said, I'm going to put up $20 million, and, first week I want the women, and the second week I want the men, and, equal pay. I think we're starting to see it a little bit, but I think it's also just one of those things where, companies look at ROI and other things that I don't necessarily think they need to. I think it's more about empowering women and female athletes, and just really putting a stake in the ground that you truly believe in these women and these athletes. And that's why, we're so thankful to Kroger and P&G, and we have a very strong purse at 1.75. And, we are, like I said, working to, what can we do to raise that purse and get it to that, $2 million mark or higher. I have played 6 holes at Kenwood. I was actually out. I went and played with a member, and it was on a Friday, and you think Fridays are going to be fun and not a lot going on, and unfortunately I got called away. And then I've played Cincinnati Country Club, I think it is, in Hyde Park. I was actually in a member guest there, and that one was a lot of fun. It was a scramble, and I actually thought it played really well to my skills. But truthfully, it's been all kind of operational, just trying to get our feet on the ground here, and a lot to do, especially in these last 45 days. And I'm a fair-weathered golfer as well. And when you eat, breathe, sleep it, as your career, for me, I would rather go to a bar after work than play 9 holes. Yeah. So it's 144 in the field. There's a cut on Friday. So right now we're projecting it's 70 in ties, but right now we have our tee times laid out. 78 make the cut, because then on Saturday they'll go off in groups of 2 off of number one tee. That's the prime, I guess, wish, if you will. Because when the cut is made, if it's I think it's 83 and above, they need to either go off of 1 in 10 in groups of 2 or groups of 3 off of 1 in order to finish in the TV window, which is a finish time of 5 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday. So ultimately, it depends on how many make the cut, but I would say anyone, if it's 78 in ties, 78th place would probably receive around $1,300. So definitely, not much. It might cover a car rental or a hotel, but these girls grind it out, and they just never know when it's going to be their time. When they'll win. For sure, because like ROI on TV rights, and that's a really good question. And truthfully, like the PGA Tour actually does our bidding, and it's a joint partnership. But the LPGA has been getting better TV windows. They've actually been on primetime. I don't know how much if you watch the LPGA, but they've been secured on CBS on final rounds and NBC, and getting a lot more of those primetime spots. But it's huge because, like I said, a lot of these companies, they look at what their ROI is, but truthfully, I think it goes beyond that. It's really about, believing in female athletes and equal pay, and just wanting to invest in these women. But yeah, for sure. I think ultimately the men will always, in at least the near term, will receive those better windows. But I think it's just going to be it's just a process, right? Same thing with the purse. I think it's going to take one sponsor that says, I want to make sure that the LPGA has a better TV window over the PGA Tour, and it's just something that is going to take a little bit of time. But what I will say is Mike Wan, who's now the CEO of the USGA, is fighting for that every day. He brought on a first-time presenting sponsor for the U.S. Women's Open in ProMedica, and even what he's doing this week with the Adaptive Open. I mean, I think it's incredible. I don't know if any of you have watched any of it, but it's truly something special, and I encourage you all to tune into that over the next couple days. So, sorry, was that? I don't know if someone made a comment, but no, just to kind of recap on that, I think, it's TV sells and, the eyeballs and the viewership, but I will say too, there's been a massive increase on viewership and sponsorship, and COVID has a lot to do with that as well. When we got back to play, there was not really there really wasn't much else to do still. A lot of places and markets were still on lockdown, and so I think like over 3 million females picked up a club over those 3 years of COVID, and just even, like I said, the viewership of female golf. So I think it'll just take some time, but I mean, definitely the PGA Tour still, kind of outshines, I guess you could say, the LPGA. In the back.
I have a two-part question. What has been your greatest challenge, and can you tell us how you overcame it, or have you?
So for this event, the greatest challenge would definitely be being the new kids in town. I mean, everything is new. Like I said, without Kroger and P&G, we had no sponsors, we had no vendors, we were ultimately homeless, no office, and so it's really been forming those relationships and those sponsors, because without sponsors, your tournament isn't viable. And like I said, we've had a phenomenal response. We've had to actually come up with additional hospitality opportunities because we ran out. And so I think, like I mentioned, you'll really see tournament week, that community support. But then to that, with our vendors, we've really tried to utilize local businesses, entrepreneurs, in all different spaces. And so that's still a challenge. We're still looking for, our local ice vendor and a couple others. And it's just, with a tournament too, it's not, it's on such a very, very small or big scale, where it isn't like we just need a bunker with 50 bags of ice. We're going to go through hundreds of bags of ice every single day. And just the logistics of Kenwood and it being one way out or one way in and one way out, everything is brand new to us. But we're getting there. And I think, come Sunday on September 11th, we will, be able to look back and really be proud of what we were able to accomplish, not just as a team, but as an entire community and city.
I don't want to cut you short, but we've been peppering you with a lot of
I
questions.
know, but they're good.
This group loves to ask questions. You want to take any more questions?
Except I can. I mean, I have time.
We have a few more
Yeah,
minutes.
sure.
We have some more questions, everybody? We do. Please, we'll have time for 5 more minutes of questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a great question. I mean, yeah, we've seen them as well, with Brooke Henderson, and she's still hot. I think, Nellie Korda had a big run last year before, announcing she had a blood clot in her arm. So I think that really brought new attention, new eyeballs, new fans to the game of golf. But even, I think, too, it's more... I see it kind of as a different angle as well now, because the LPGA and girls golf, it's becoming something even more than just our athletes, but it's really how our athletes are kind of relating to the younger generation and really building up that game of golf. And so I think, we have Rose Zhang and Rachel Heck, who both go to Stanford, and they're on the rise. But even more so, like the time that they spend with the younger generation and the youth, I think that's starting to also take notice, and people are really feeling encouraged in that. But yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of had a little bit of a lull, but we've had a ton of first-time winners, which is really exciting. We've had, over the past year and a half, we've had Leona Maguire, who is a first time from Ireland. We've had Matilda Castron, who's a first time from Finland. We've had Yuka Sasso, who I think 2 years ago now, last year won the U.S. Women's Open at Olympic Hills to Lexi Thompson. Or I should say Lexi Thompson lost. But there's been so many first-time winners from all different backgrounds and nationalities that I think makes our tour so special. Versus just one singular winner. And I'm always a sucker for a first-time winner, so it's been so incredible to see. Lizette Salas just won last week in a team competition. She hadn't won since 2014. So for her, that was a really special moment. And she won with Jennifer Kupcho, who now has been on fire. She's won 3 times this year. So it's kind of crazy just to see how it kind of ebbs and flows, but like I said, I think for the LPGA, it's special to see all these first-time winners, which just means that the game is becoming competitive, and there's just really good golfers out there.
What do you think of the bars in Cincinnati?
Oh boy. No, honestly, they're great. The bars. Which bars I like? I think, is it the Blind Melon? I really like is there Blind Lemon, right? Yes, I really like that bar. I actually went to Mad Tree last night. I'm a sucker for a good Negroni, so if anyone has recommendations, let me know. I went to Homemakers last weekend. So I just love that you can go to OTR and find something new every time you go down there. Go ahead. Oh. No. Oh boy. Okay. I'll let you guys fight it out. Not really. No, it's just the difference in course setup. No, I mean, it'll be just as challenging. Some of the yardages may differ slightly, but ultimately there's not a whole lot of difference that goes into it.
Last question.
So if the players had any time to have fun
Definitely. And actually, I think the girls are going to love Cincinnati. There's a ton of them that love a good glass of wine or finding I know they love a good glass of beer. And so we're working on partnering with different microbreweries in the area to take them on different tours and then bring the Golf Channel along. But yeah, the girls definitely will get out and find a coffee shop that's brand new to them. And they like getting out on their own too. They are not shy for finding new things to do in cities. We're actually hopefully are going to have a pickleball tournament for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if tournament week you find a few of them down at 50 West playing pickleball. We're going to have a ping pong tournament as well outside of the golf competition. So yeah, the girls, we've been doing a lot of recruiting. We're going to get our first field list in the next couple of weeks. But talking with the girls, they're really excited that the LPGA is back in Cincinnati. So I think you'll definitely be seeing them around. Unfortunately, the Reds are out of town that week. So we won't be going to any games. But no, I definitely know that they're going to find time to find some things to do.
This is perfect. Whew, Emily, thank you so much. We peppered Emily with a lot of questions, but thank you. This is a big deal, and you could tell this city's going to love this tournament. Bringing the world stage to Kenwood Country Club in Cincinnati, and maybe shining a little light on our beverage industry. That's a good thing too. Thank you very much for your presentation. You mentioned, Emily, that there's a $1.7 million prize purse, and the top prize was $275, is that right, for the winner? Well, there's a slightly smaller prize for being a keynote speaker and ensuring all of those questions. Yeah, I'd like to share with you this coin. This might not have any monetary value at all, as a matter of fact, but no, this is a sign of our appreciation. On one side, this says the Rotary Club of Cincinnati. On the other, it says the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do as Rotarians. It might not be worth a gold coin, but we think that this motto helps build champions. So in addition to this coin, in your honor, we'd like to make a donation to the End Polio Now campaign in an ongoing multi-decade effort to eradicate polio from the planet. We're this close with only 8 cases left in the known world. So thank you for your presentation today. Let's give her another warm round of applause. You did. Well, you are dismissed. That's perfectly fine. Sorry, no more questions for Emily, at least not from this podium. I want to mention that we have one committee meeting today. It's the Hands-On Service Committee. They are meeting in boardroom 4 on the mezzanine. Next week, we have Justin Brookhart. Justin is the executive director of Blink. Don't miss it. See you next week. Meeting adjourned.